Inside black, outside color, cast iron enameled pot, full enamel coating process. Cast iron pot must be well pre-treated. Heat treatment is to eliminate oil, spots and internal stress on the surface of the billet. Surface, decarburization, color, cast iron, enameled pot. Place the cast iron body in the furnace for annealing. Time set to 15 minutes. Furnace temperature set to 800 degrees Celsius. This is what it looks like after annealing. Sandblast the cast iron skillet to make the surface even and smooth. The media used for sandblasting is silicone carbide powder of number 60 grit. Sandblasting.
有哪个地方不合啊？
那时候皮肤磨合形成了那带不形成的那种感觉。马手还有就是那种边边角角啊，真的不干净的地方，留一下。
The handles and the bottom of the pan must be sanded clean. Note: this is what it looks like when the blasting is done and surface be clean. White base glaze is Artua ready to use powder. Pouring the powder into the ball mill jar. Mix with water. The water ratio is about 45%. 45 ml water per 100 grams powder. Then mix in a ball mill for 1 minute. The ball milling time varies for different enamel materials. Please consult us if you are not sure the milling time. The enamel slurry must pass through 60 #mesh sieve. Prepare 100 grams of cast iron matte powder. Add milling additives and black pigment according to our formula. Pour into the ball mill jar. Add water. And ball mill. Passing through 60 #mesh sieve. Got enamel glaze slurry for base, glaze and edge glaze. Weigh 100 milliliters of enamel glaze, slurry in a measuring cup. The bulk density can be 165 to 175 grams. First, coat the handle of the enamel pot. Therefore, it's necessary to slightly adjust the air pressure of the spray gun. The base glaze should be sprayed thin, not thick. When spraying the bottom of the pot, you need to adjust the angle of the spray gun. spray the gun vertically at a right angle of 90. This is what it looks like after spraying the inner surface. Flip over and invert the enamel pot. Reduce the air pressure of the spray gun when coating the handle. Increase air pressure of spraying, gun and coat the pot body with enamel. This is what it looks like after spraying the outside with the base glaze. Dry the coated cast iron pot in drying oven at 100 to 155 degrees centigrade. The drying temperature is stable at Y-150 degrees Celsius. The temperature too low may cause the workpiece to rust, and the temperature too high may cause the powder layer to crack. Wait for complete drying. Take out the cast iron pot. Wearing gloves, squeeze the handle firmly and turn the cast iron pot over. Gently wipe off the glaze on the edge of the cast iron pot with a wet sponge. This process is to avoid a thick enamel coating around the edges. This can avoid the possibility of breakage during the use of the pot. Wash the sponge and dab the sponge with a little enamel edge glaze, recoating the edge of the cast iron pot. Drying again. Put the dried cast iron pot into the firing furnace. Set the time to 15 minutes. Ground coat firing temperature is 780 degrees centigrade. The firing time is determined according to the size of the workpiece, and the appearance, color of the workpiece should be consistent with the furnace color when the temperature reaches 780 C. Take out the fired cast iron pot and let it air dry naturally. Cool, slowly and evenly, not sharp cooling. Weigh 200 grams of enamel black glaze. Add milling additives and black pigment according to the formula. Pour the prepared enamel glaze into the ball mill jar. Add 90 milliliters of water. Then mix in a ball mill. The ball milling time varies for different enamel materials. Please consult us if you are not sure the milling time. Notice, ball mills that have used pigments need to be ball milled with clean water once to avoid residual pigments. Next, prepare the glaze slurry for the colored outer part of the pot. Using transparent glaze, add mill additions and red, pigment, or any other color enamel you want to do, according to the formula. Pour the prepared enamel glaze into the ball mill jar. Add 100 milliliters of water. Then mix in a ball mill. The ball milling time varies for different enamel materials. Please consult us if you are not sure the milling time. All ball milled glaze slurry needs to be sieved before use. Got enamel glaze slurry that can be used for enamel coating. Load the glaze slurry. After adjusting the air pressure of the spray gun, spray black glaze on the inner surface of the enamel pot. Put it in the drying oven to dry. After drying, the black glaze on the edge of the enamel pot needs to be wiped off with sponge. This process is to avoid a thick enamel coating around the edges. Then spray the colored coat slurry on the outside. Cover enameled pots with the same size lid. Prevent red glaze slurry from splashing into the interior of the enamel pot. Spraying red glaze on the outside of pot. Apply the handle first, as it requires less air pressure of spray gun. Turn the cast iron pot over. The back of the handle should also be coated with red glaze. Pay attention to spraying the blind spot of the handle as well. Then, the pressure of the spray gun can be increased. Spray the entire outside of the pot. Dry the enameled pot in the drying oven. Wait for complete drying. Take out the cast iron pot. Put the dried cast iron pot into the firing furnace. Set the time to 12 minutes. Firing temperature is 760 degrees centigrade. Check after cooling to room temperature. Check the workpiece for defects and repair them if necessary. The cover coat may be done 2 or more times.